We are the team number 1, and we include me, Hoài Thương, Nhật Linh, Lê Huyền, Minh Hoàng, and Linh Trang. So I have questions. How are you today? Maybe I was a little bit sleepy or boring from the last lesson, I guess. First, we're a little bit nervous. So in order to break the ice, we prepared a mini game. It's very easy, and here's a rule. We will play a video, and your task is answer the questions before the video ends. So we will very happy, or it's very awesome if you can join with us. So any volunteers? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I need a volunteer to play the mini game, so you can raise your hand. So I will pick a person. So I saw Việt Hưng, so I will invite Việt Hưng to play this game. So do you get the rules yet? Do you understand the rules of the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to answer the question before the video ends. Just remember that. So the question is, what are the 2 brands we mentioned in the video?
Okay.
So can you get the answer?
Okay, so I guess that 2 local brands is Supreme and Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, that's a correct answer. These 2 brands is also the verdict in our presentation today. And our topic is about Louis Vuitton and Supreme, the collaboration of dreams. Our presentation is divided into 3 main sections. The first is the introduction about the Louis Vuitton and Supreme. Then I will come to the body. We will answer 2 questions: how Louis Vuitton and Supreme make a cooperation of the century, why Louis Vuitton and Supreme make a perfect pair, and point out the benefits of Louis Vuitton and Supreme can receive after the collaboration. Finally, we will summarize the main information and answer your question. And now, let's move on to the first section, when we'll give you some information about Louis Vuitton.
Okay, so now I would like to give you some information about Louis Vuitton, history, strength, and weaknesses. First thing first, I will take a look at how the brand was formed and some facts about Louis Vuitton. The brand was founded in 1854 by designer Louis Vuitton. So he traveled, he experienced and understood what made good quality travel best, and then he started designing his own bag, creating the foundation of the brand. Progressively, Louis Vuitton becomes a brand luxury fashion company and had a headquarters in Paris, France. Maybe you know, Louis Vuitton is well known by the Louis Vuitton's monogram. We can see its logo in the slide. In the next slide, we can see mostly production of the brand, such as travel junk, accessories, handbags, and shoes, which were made completely by hand with high-quality leather. While this glass is the main customer of this brand, especially middle-aged swimming, an affluent young fashionable age, 18 to 34 years old. You can look at the picture in the slide. And so now I would like to move on to Louis Vuitton's strengths and weaknesses, which have Louis Vuitton maintained its dominant position in the fashion market. Firstly, Louis Vuitton is a strong brand with global presence. Secondly, it also has strong overall market share up to 60%. And finally, products are viewed as an exclusive status symbol. However, the brand still has some limitations that Louis Vuitton need to improve. The first limitation is crop production capacity. It takes a lot of time and effort to make a high quality handmade product. The next is counterfeit product, which threaten to luxury goods image. Therefore, the company have to make most effective towards avoiding counterfeiting from competitor. So there's some information about Louis Vuitton. We would like to turn to Supreme, and I will invite Nadine to present this part for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Huyền. Huyền has just introduced you about Louis Vuitton, and now I'm going to concentrate on Supreme before the Century Cooperation, its strengths and weaknesses. First of all, Supreme was founded in 1994 by James Jebbia in New York City. There are only 11 Supreme stores worldwide, and the headquarters in New York's Lafayette Street, United States. When compared to Louis Vuitton, Supreme was a relatively young brand. While Louis Vuitton was a luxury fashion company, Supreme was well known as a streetwear brand. Here you can see in the slide is the brand recognition, which is the iconic red box with the simple white word Supreme. Supreme's target market is young people with skateboarding, hip-hop, or rock culture. Anytime the new collections were released, all the items were sold out in a very short time. And I will show you some popular items you can find in every Supreme store. Like the picture in the slide, its core products are bags, skateboards, rackets, t-shirts, and so on. And now let's move to the strength of Supreme. Firstly, this brand has celebrity approval. Many famous people love Supreme apparel, such as BTS, Justin Bieber, that boosted its hype, resale value, and market status. Secondly, Supreme attracts a huge number of young customers. They are really so obsessed with the Supreme. Secondly, Supreme, for example, you will find up to hundreds of young, obsessively fashion-conscious individuals queuing along the street for the 12 hours, 16 hours, or even for 24 hours. They will break the code, sleep rough if necessary, and eagerly empty their bank account in an instant. They are there for one reason: spend as much money as they can on Supreme. And let's move to the reason thirdly, Supreme has fashionable products and high quality. The social relevance and cutting-edge design of Supreme give it a strong foundation for growth, and quickly let it to be respected as one of the realest brands out there. However, these brands still have weaknesses. The first one is low brand awareness. Although Supreme has a large number of customers, Most of them are in current countries. It's still a new name with the rest of the world. Secondly, bearing a few poster campaigns and some collaborations with celebrities, Supreme doesn't advertise in any way. Huyên and I present the main information about Louis Vuitton and Supreme. And next, Hoàng will help you to find out how the Supreme meets Louis Vuitton.
Okay. As you can see, Louis Vuitton and Supreme have a lot of differences, such as target market, core products, strengths, weaknesses, and many things else. But now I will show you how Louis Vuitton and Supreme make a cooperation of the century. To begin with, I'll talk about the story when Louis Vuitton sued Supreme. In 2000, Supreme introduced a series of skate decks, beanies, and t-shirts emblazoned with Louis Vuitton monogram print, which had suddenly taken on a greater meaning in a popular culture, especially amongst young people. 2 weeks after the skate deck was shipped,
Sorry,
Louis
Hoàng.
Vuitton.
I can't see you,
Yeah.
and I don't like to listen
À.
to a black screen
Em-
like this.
Em thưa cô, hôm qua em bị mất wifi, em phải dùng máy bàn.
So how can I see the
Thế-
way
thế
you
thì-
speak?
Thế cô đợi em một tí, em để em đăng ký 3G em vào lại. Có được không ạ?
Okay, it's up to you, but if you continue speaking without cameras, I will have
Thế
quite
cô
negative feeling.
cô đợi em 20 giây ạ.
The presenter, you should show the camera all the time because sometimes I want to look back the ideas and I want to link the idea with the face.
Sorry about the accident. So we had to wait Hoàng to come back. So before he come back, I will summarize the differences between Supreme and Louis Vuitton. So Hoàng has said that Supreme and Louis Vuitton have a lot of difference, like target market, core products, or strengths and weaknesses. So you can see in the Huyên and Linh part that they pointed out all the differences. And the first differences is the target market. The target market of Louis Vuitton is a really middle-aged women and the wealthy class, while Supreme customer is a young customer, young people, and the core product is also different. Like the product of Supreme is very youthful, dynamic, and Louis Vuitton is a little bit simple. And you can see the old fashion, I guess. So Hoàng come back. So I will let him finish his part.
Thế rồi em nói từ nãy giờ mà em quên không bật mic ạ. As you can see, Louis Vuitton and Supreme have a lot of differences, such as target market, core products, strengths and weaknesses, and many things else. But now I will show you how Louis Vuitton and Supreme make a cooperation of the century. To begin with, I'll talk about the story when Louis Vuitton Supreme. In 2000, Supreme introduced a series of skate decks, beanies, and t-shirts emblazoned with Louis Vuitton's monogram print, which has suddenly taken on a greater meaning in popular culture, especially amongst young people. 2 weeks after the skate deck was shipped, Louis Vuitton hit Supreme with a cease and desist letter. The French house was reportedly so taken aback by Supreme flagrant usage of their monogram print demanded the products be burned to avoid any further circulation. That event marked the beginning of the future collaboration, but it's not the only connection between these two brands. The man you see in the slide is Kim Jones, Louis Vuitton's menswear designer. He's known as a streetwear aficionado in his own right. And what a surprise! His first job in college was to unpack boxes for a company that imports Supreme to the UK. The two brands actually had a special connections before. However, the man who really made this dreamily collaboration come true is Michael Burke, the CEO of Louis Vuitton. One day, Michael Burke called Kim Jong up and asked him if he knew the people at Supreme, because he was really interested in the brand and he would like to talk to the founder, James Jebbia. So Kim Jong said he can get James' number if they can do a collaboration with them. In 2017, the autumn-winter collection was released. It's really luxurious. Can you imagine the King of Street have a collaboration with one of the most luxurious brand in the world? So it's the balances, Supreme and Louis Vuitton. Juice is the key. The customer used to be old men. Now they are much more younger, 20 somethings. So it is important to make them excited. Finally, after 17 years, from 2000 to 2017, the dream really came true. Supreme came up with an idea and Louis Vuitton brought into real life. So why Supreme and Louis Vuitton can make a perfect pair? I think that Sun can give you the answers.
Yeah, thank you, Han. So in the process of researching this topic, we always wonder about how these two brands with so many differences can meet each other and why this collaboration can be successful. And just have you to answer the first question. Now I will show you the reason for the second question. And I found out 3 reasons. Yeah, the first reason is a new audience, because the new audience and the new market. The number 2 is that collaboration really creating a buzz. And the last is the new experience for the customer. So as we said at the beginning, each brand has its own set of customers. So when 2 brands collaborated, they will now have to have access to the different group of customers with different kind of characteristics. So you can see in the slide that Louis Vuitton customer require old, while Supreme buyers is a young, fun-based, dynamic, and colorful. So The collaboration allowed Louis Vuitton and to tap onto Supreme's younger fan base. So while Supreme could appeal to more major customer group, this strategy has led the brands to enter a totally new market. Secondly, this collaboration creates a buzz for both brands. So why do I say so? Yeah, Supreme is not really satisfied with their current position, a king of street fashion. They want to climb higher to the position of the luxury brand with high style. You can see, like in the picture, that Supreme style is skateboard, hoodie, backpack, young and dynamic, colorful. And besides that, Louis Vuitton has moved out of its safe zone after nearly 150 years of purchasing luxury style with a little bit old-fashioned and yeah, with the monogram, and which Louis Vuitton really resonate with this young phone image. So which made young generation pay more attention as they're good. So you can see their collaboration is more fashion, more young, and it is more suitable for the young generation. So they really do a good job. And people cannot wait to have one item. Even the superstar, like you see in Link's slide, like Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, or BTS. Finally, they give the customer a totally new experience. Louis Vuitton, yeah, they too loyal to the dark brown, white, and this distracting Elvis monogram. And they also realize that their design is a little bit old-fashioned. So with the partnership with Supreme, the two fashion bosses, Louis Vuitton and Supreme, customers will have more choices from the new collection. Louis Vuitton is, you know that Louis Vuitton is a highly exclusive brand. Like example for the suitcase in 2000 with Supreme, it's almost impossible for buyers to find any authentic product with LV monogram outside their shop. So, but with this collaboration, Supreme customer can relax and experience the new feeling when you can shopping in the Supreme store without any judgment like they went in the LV store. So that's I have to say about the reasons that makes this collaboration successful. Now, Chang will continue with the benefit of this collaboration that Louis Vuitton and Supreme can receive.
Thanks. Now I will show you the benefits that Louis Vuitton and Supreme can receive. This combination brings a lot of benefits to the two brands. For Louis Vuitton, they rank the first brand in the sales ranking of fashion brand. Their profits increased 23% to $18 billion compared to the same period last year. The collaboration is a push for Louis Vuitton to innovate and introduce more newness. They were successful in testing the market and opening a new era for luxury streetwear. The collaboration gives Louis Vuitton a chance to show its versatility and ingenuity while still maintaining its point and position in the fashion world. For Supreme, this collaboration also brings Supreme from a small New York skateboard shop to a global phenomenon. Besides, Supreme is a new brand with only 11 stores in the world. Thanks to this combination, their customers can access products more easily with Louis Vuitton sizing of nearly 500 stores in 50 countries. In addition, Supreme made either widely covered thanks to Louis Vuitton top-notch advertising campaigns such as magazine photo, catwalk, and event. Finally, this collaboration make Louis Vuitton and Supreme grow separately, improve the brand, and get into the new market.
Thank you, Chang. So let me summarize what we have said during the presentation. In the introduction, Huyền and Linh gave you some information about Louis Vuitton and Supreme, and you can easily point out the difference in the target market, core product, main customers of the two brands. So next, Hoàng shared the story of how Louis Vuitton and Supreme meet and make a perfect pair. In my part, I give you 3 reasons why the collaboration was successful. And the last, Chang pointed out the benefits that Louis Vuitton and Supreme can receive after the collaboration. Thank you for your attention. Now we will try to answer all your questions you may have. So you can raise your hand. We will be really happy if you have any questions. So you can raise your hand to make a question for us.
Yes. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate you guys for the really good presentation. And I have a question for you. Why are Supreme products sold out in such a short time? Can you explain for me? Thank you, Link, for the question. And it's quite a nice question, and I think I can give you an answer now. As I have represented in the slide, the first reason is the social relevance and cutting-edge designs of Supreme gave it a strong foundation for growth, and quickly led it to be respected as one of the realest brands out there. So this brand has a huge attraction. Secondly, there will never be enough products for buyers because that brand will never change its quantity supplied, even though the high demand is increasing. And it's also the specialty strategy of Supreme. Oh, that's all my answer. Do you clearly? Thank you. I got the answers.
If you have question, you can raise your voice. Don't wait to be called by the presenter. And presenter, please pay attention. The friends are raising hand, and you should invite them to say.
Yeah, I would like to invite Minh Thùy. Yeah.
Just I have a question about the reason 3. I know that Louis Vuitton had a very nice customer service, but why did you say like the employee are rude with customer? I just confused about that. Can you explain?
Yeah, and the third question is about new experience. I mean, the atmosphere at the LV, the Louis Vuitton store is a little bit too formal. They wear vest and shirt. Well, the atmosphere is so formal, and I think that young customer may feel like uncomfortable, like an open space. You can see that we are young, energetic, and we really don't like about the formal atmosphere when we're shopping. Like we reduce stress and we walk in the store, and the store is so like it's like a company or something. And a young customer, young buyers really want an open space with a seller also young and dynamic like them. So I think the new experience is like for the new customers, like young people. Yes. So do you is the answer? Are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, I understand now. Thank you.
Yeah. So Ian and Phương Thảo, do you have any question? You can raise your voice.
I have a question for you. In your presentation, I really didn't figure out how this collaboration actually happened. I mean, how the Supremes founder James Javier and Louis Vuitton could come to an agreement while there are so many differences. As this like Jabin Jerry and we have learned in the dilemma how they could break the ice. In your presentation, I didn't get that point.
Yeah, you are confused with the Jab and Jerry case. As you see, we begin the first connections in 2000, and Supreme was sued by Louis Vuitton, but they break the ice like Kim Jones, the menswear designer, is their first job in college would unbox the Supreme to the UK. So you can see the first connection is a little bit weird, but the second is really interesting. Why menswear designer in every worked for the Supreme. So beside that, the designer is really a fan of streetwear fashion. So it's have another reason that in 2015, Supreme is
sorry
down. Yeah, down their rank. Yeah.
I just really know it whether the situation or the conditions they match each other.
Oh, yeah. The condition is the time that Michael Burke called Kim Jong and asked for the James Javier number. So it was because of Michael. He's really interested in streetwear fashion and Supreme. Another reason is in 2015, Louis Vuitton has down their place, like the revenue was sharply reduced, and they need a new thing to climb. Yeah, like they need to boost their profit, so they don't know what to do because their fashion and their designer is not for young people. So it's just like a marketing method, and you have to invest to the new kind of target market. So it's not about to break the ice something. It's just about making money. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to check if Phương Thảo, you are satisfied with the answer.
Yes.
Sorry, but I'm not satisfied for your answer. I want to know what detailed concessions or compromises two companies like Louis Vuitton and Supreme ask for to break the ice and find a common ground. I want a detailed concessions and compromises. Can you answer?
You really want the corporate, like what? Like you really want to know what's the reason, the detailed reason, or something like the contract?
No, I want to know that the detailed concessions and compromises. Like the two companies want to break the ice and find a common ground, how they do it, how they did that, why it's successful.
Oh, yeah, maybe you didn't hear that clearly. So I will explain again. They break the ice because firstly, their sale revenue sharply reduced in 2015. So they need to find a new market. Yeah, the first reason is to find a new market to boost sale and making money for Louis Vuitton. And the second reason is that Kim Jones, Louis Vuitton designer, is also a streetwear fan, and he also worked for Supreme before when he was in college. And the last reason is in 2000, Supreme introduced a series of skate deck, beanies, and t-shirts that would make the young crazy. Like, you know, like the combination. But it's just that time, Louis Vuitton showed that Supreme just counterfeit their product, and because they would see in the past the product was successful. So in 17 years later, they think that product, they think the product.
I'm sorry, but I have to interrupt you. Time is over. You have used up more than 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I set the maximum of the time at the beginning, right? Are you clear? Okay, thank you. I think that that's enough for me to give you the assessment. And now I want to have some comment on the presentation because we still have to spend time on the second one, okay? Now, I have to say that you are quite well prepared for the presentation. And I also see the teamwork in the way you prepare for the presentation, and I see the consistency in the slide, and the way you just combine the different part of the presentation. Good. But you have to pay attention to some point to make some improvement. I highly appreciate the question from Thảo and Minh Anh, because this is also the thing that I want the presenter to make it clearer. Because you have made a presentation about two different brands, okay? You talk about the cooperation between two different brands, but you didn't focus on how they deal with the differences, how they came together. You did talk, but you didn't stress on that. That's why the friend will confuse. Are you clear? For example, you didn't talk about what kind of alliance that they venture into, just because the friend know that there are 4 types, okay? And now you talk about 2 different companies with a lot of problems, with a lot of conflicts, right? And then we just say they join together because of the benefits. And they want to know more about the process of forming alliance between 2 companies, right? You spend most of the time talking about 2 companies as the separate, and less time on how they get on together. And one more thing, I see that the slide, actually you use too many similar pictures in those slides, and you put in each slide, most of the slide, there's only 1 point. I just want you to put more points on one slide, maybe from 3 to 5, so it would be easier for us to follow what you say. Cái chỗ này các em không biết là các em có để ý không, nhưng mà em nhìn xem cả cái slide của các em có bao nhiêu trang, có bao nhiêu slide, và các em thử back lại những cái slide ở phía đầu khi mà nói về các company riêng biệt ấy, thì các em có thể thấy là slide nào cũng có hình ảnh, đúng không? Ví dụ như là về Louis Vuitton, các em thấy không? Có mỗi một slide về, có mỗi chữ là Louis Vuitton founder này, headquarter này, brand recognition. Tại sao các em không cho tất cả các cái điểm này vào một slide và sau đó nói về cái slide đó? Khi mà các em sử dụng quá nhiều slide như thế này, mọi người sẽ cảm thấy nó rời rạc, và các em có thể nhìn thấy là slide nào cũng có ảnh. Không cần thiết là như thế. Và các cái ảnh này tương tự nhau các em ạ, chỉ là các cái logo, các cái bức tranh về trụ sở, rồi về các cái mẫu quảng cáo thôi. Đôi khi tranh ảnh là tốt, video clip là tốt, nhưng quá nhiều thì sẽ không tốt. Ví dụ như vừa rồi có một nhóm thuyết trình trước, các bạn ấy dùng đến 5 video trong một cái bài thuyết trình. Như vậy cô đề là overuse, và nhóm này thì cô cũng thấy là quá nhiều tranh ảnh và sẽ làm cho mọi người bị đôi khi là bị distracted. Còn một cái phần nữa mà cô đây là đang nhắc chung nhá, tí đến cá nhân sau, là cái phần Q&A, question and answer. You need to know how to handle the question well. I know some of you did quite well, but not all of you. So how to handle the question? You know, but I want to remind you again. When you get a question, the first thing you have to do is to make sure that you get the question right. By checking if you get it right, by repeating the question or summarizing the question if it is too long. And then you answer. You can ask for more time if you need. Các em chú ý cái phần câu hỏi ấy, thì đầu tiên là phải check, đúng không? Xem mình đã hiểu đúng chưa, và sau đó nếu các em không có câu trả lời ngay hoặc là muốn bàn bạc với nhau một chút, các em có thể hỏi khán giả là cho một chút thời gian. Và sau khi chúng ta trả lời xong thì make sure là the audience are satisfied. Cái cách mà bạn Thương vừa trả lời thì cô thấy rằng là bạn Thương có cái ngôn ngữ nói rất là tốt. Nhưng mà khi mà chúng ta trả lời thì chúng ta cố gắng là make it short. Và chúng ta không việc gì phải repeat lại những gì mình đã nói. Mà các em cũng không nên có cái lời nhận xét là gì, oh, we did talk about that, but maybe you missed it. Câu đấy là khá là impolite. Vì khán giả họ có quyền được hỏi. Có thể em đã nói nhưng mà em nói không ấn tượng thì mọi người không get được cái point đó. Thì việc của em là gì? Ok, summarize. make the audience understand what you say. Don't say something like that. Oh, we talk about this, but you may have missed it. That is rude, actually. You did talk, but you didn't stress. The audience is not impressed. That's okay. Okay. And don't make the answer too long. Okay, that is the thing that you have to learn. And also some technical problems. You can see when you make an online presentation like that, you may incur a lot of technical problems. That is normal thing. And I see that Thương, you have very quick interaction with the audience, just to feel in the time we have to wait for them, right? This is a good thing. Yeah. And I think that you could prepare something like videos, short clip about the brand, and let the friend watch while waiting for the presenter. It will be better if you summarize it in the middle. I think that is not a good idea. So the other presenter in the future, you should have some plan for the case like that. Okay. So that's some general ideas. And now I want to give the comment on individual performance. Trang, Thương, you did the introduction. Very good idea when you start with a game. Okay, try to get attention. Good. You have good spoken language and good interaction with the audience. That is the good thing. The thing that I don't like much is that you take the time to demonstrate the speaking skill. I feel like that. Okay, when you get a question, try to give a brief answer, because brief answer could get in the mind of the audience than a longer one. Okay. I give you 4.5 on this. The second is Huyền. Huyền, I also see a good spoken language of you, and you was quite confident, but I just want you to adjust the camera. It looks like you have to sit with the position that, I mean, I don't like the capture of the image much, because it seems that you are not quite comfortable when you have to sit like this. Okay, just adjust the camera so that you can look up instead of look down. Okay. Huyền có để ý lúc mà camera của em cứ bị như này, em ngồi cứ gù gù như này.
Dạ vâng ạ.
Okay, I give you 4. Đấy, em nhìn thấy không? Là em có thể điều chỉnh camera như nào để cho nó có thể cái trông mình không bị gù. Giống như khi chụp ảnh, các em cũng hay thích trông mình cao hơn á, chứ không phải là như thế này. 4 nhá. Cô gửi cho em là điểm 4 này. Vậy là tương đối cao rồi về mặt cá nhân nhá. Next is Nhật Linh, and you are quite comfortable with spoken language, right? And you have you speak in a natural way and have quite I think appropriate response to what the audience asks. Good. I give you 4. Okay, it seems that I feel that Hoàng, you show a deep interest, kind of passion for what you say. You love fashion, right, Hoàng? You have an interest for fashion, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, that's why you pay more attention to what you want to say rather than how you look, right? There's a camera, the sound, okay? You should try to balance. Okay, before you speak, just check the image, check the sound system. Okay.
Okay.
It's good when you choose to talk about something that you love, because I can see that when you speak and you are more confident when you talk about something that you really love. So I want other presenter, you can learn from that. The thing that you have to pay attention is when you incur some problem, you should tell the audience in advance. For example, the camera is not working. You can start by, okay, teacher and classmate, so sorry because my camera, there's some problem with the electricity or internet connection, so I cannot turn on my camera. And you apologize. Okay? Don't just go right to the presentation and we just look at the black screen. It's not the way I want you to do.
Okay.
Okay, I also give you 4.
Thank you.
4 is the quite high mark in my speaking class. And the last one is Chang. Chang, I see that the slide in this part are better designed with 3 points in one slide, not too many pictures. This is a good thing. That the way you speak give me the feeling that you are reading from notes. You don't look at the audience. You try to gain, ensure the fluency by reading from notes. I feel that. I'm not sure, but the way you speak makes me think so. So how to improve? You have to speak with natural speech. Sometimes you should make eye contact with the audience and check if the audience are following you or not. Okay? Chang? Yeah. And you speak, sometimes you stop speaking with a mouth open, like you are looking for something. You are trying to find notes that you have prepared. I feel that. I don't like that. Okay? You have a lot of time to prepare. So that mistake should be avoided. Okay? Em không biết là đây là vô thức hay như nào, nhưng cô cảm giác đấy, em không nói nữa, nhưng em nhìn màn hình và miệng thì đang gọi là open và khá là lâu luôn. Vậy em phải chỉnh sửa cái hình ảnh của mình trước khi em thuyết trình. Em phải tự quay lại và nhìn xem là mình có vấn đề gì, chỗ nào không ổn nhá. Rồi phần Trang thì cô cho 3 điểm. Vậy thì là chúng ta hầu là được 4, chủ yếu là 4, một bạn là 4,5, một bạn được 3. Và điểm nhóm này thì các em lưu ý là cái phần slide các em thiết kế là tất cả chúng ta cùng phải chịu trách nhiệm chung, và rút kinh nghiệm từ nhóm này là chúng ta không cần quá nhiều tranh ảnh, cũng không cần quá nhiều cái video. Nhóm này không có video nào, như có một nhóm thì đến 5 cái video dài ngoằng 3 phút và cô phải cắt. Thế thì rút kinh nghiệm là nó vừa phải thôi để chúng ta có thời gian nói. Và khi mà các em dồn cả 3 cái điểm vào trong một slide, ví dụ cùng là general information about Louis Vuitton thì các em có thể để vào trong một slide. Và chúng ta nói nhiều hơn là việc là chúng ta phải di chuyển các slide, đúng không? Thì cái này là một điểm trừ đấy, mà cô trừ vào điểm nhóm. Điểm nhóm này cô định để 3,5 điểm, nhưng vì đây là nhóm đầu tiên nên cô cũng muốn là để chúng ta 4 điểm, châm trước chúng ta hơn một chút. Rồi, các em có thắc mắc gì về điểm số không?
Em cảm ơn cô ạ. Của em không ạ.
Em cảm ơn ạ.
Em cảm ơn cô.
Nhóm tiếp theo.
Em ạ. Nhóm của em ạ.
Cô sẽ make host cho bạn nào đây?
Cô make host cho em ạ.
Ok, done.
Rồi. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. We are Group 1, Class 51.2, and today we are very delighted to present to you key factors necessary for a successful M&A and 2 outstanding M&A deals. As we all know, M&A is no longer a new concept that's just been introduced in the business world. The idea of merging attracts more and more companies because this is one of the easiest ways to scale fast, grow, and diversify their investment portfolios. However, not all alliances succeeded. So it is useful for us to understand what is necessary when forming a M&A deal. So our presentation has 3 parts. Firstly, we will talk about an outstanding M&A deal in the world. That is the case of Google and Android. Secondly, we will present the acquisition between Masan, VinCommerce, and VinEco, which is an outstanding M&A deal in Vietnam. And finally, we will draw the key factors necessary for a successful M&A deals through the cases. So firstly, we come to part 1. An outstanding M&A deal in the world.
Okay, so now I will talk about an outstanding M&A deal in the world. First, background information of M&A. You know, M&A activity have developed since its first appearing in high frequency at the end of 19th century. The world observed a sharp rise in M&A activities in the 2 decades because of huge benefit to cooperation. According to Ratified data in 2021, there were 35,128 deals announced with total value touched $3.6 trillion year to date, and 22% jump over last year. And nowadays, more and more companies want to do M&A activities to expand the market, increase shareholder values. We can see a lot of successful M&A deals such as the acquisition between Disney, Pfizer, and Apple, or the merger of Daimler or Chrysler. But today, we're gonna tell you the story of Google and Android acquisition because we use these companies for that every day. And Google has formed many successful alliances that this acquisition is considered the most successful deal they ever have had. Okay, so now I'm going to fill in the history and areas of business of 2 companies. First, for Google. Google is an American multinational technology company. It was established in 1998. The operation specializes in internet-related services and products, which include online advertising technologies, cloud computing, software, and hardware. Okay, before buying Android, Google was just a small company, so Google's revenue were too low. And according to research firm Statista, its revenue just under $3.2 billion in 2004. Okay, move to the next slide. I will concentrate on the history and areas of business of Android. Android were founded in 2003 by Andy Rubin and his friends. And the only intention of the company were to develop an advanced operating system for digital cameras. Then it turned into an operating system for cellular telephones and tablet computers. And Android's revenue were too low for these early years. Okay, I'd like to turn to the acquisition process. The reason why Android joined up with Google. As I mentioned about that, Android wanted to develop an advanced operating system for digital cameras, but this market were not large enough for its goal. And they decided to shift from digital camera to open sources. However, for a while, Android went through a difficult financial period, and Rubin tried to negotiate deals with Samsung and HTC, but failed. So Rubin had to find new investors, and Google could invest money in Android. Okay, so now I want to look at the reason why Google acquired Android. At that time, Google wasn't as big as it is today. However, the executives saw a huge potential in the idea of smartphone and wanted to make one of their own. And the main reason is that they can make profits. I mean, instead of relying on hardware sales, they can launch software for free. They can attract a lot of customers, and they can earn money by sharing service fees. For example, we have AdBlock, AdClerk, or AdGuard, and this show will help you to avoid advertising. And I'm sure that many people use this app. Okay, in January 2005, Google asked to meet co-founders of Android to see if they could have this company. In a second meeting later that year, Android co-founders show up the prototype of their mobile OS to Google's co-founders. In 2005, Google officially acquired Android for $15 million. Okay, so move to the next slide. I will talk about the operation process after the acquisition.
Okay, so now I will talk about the operation process after the acquisition. After the acquisition, Google used the skill of new Android team member and spent the next 3 years developing an operating system for mobile devices. Okay, so on September 23, 2008, Google launched the first commercial Android device under Android 1.0. And after 16 years of the acquisition, Google and Android have great achievements. For Android, the first one, according to the research from Statista, Android maintained its position as the leading mobile operating system worldwide in June 2021, controlling the mobile OS market with a close to the 73% share. And you can look at the charts in the slide. And so you can see that Android also beats more established rivals like Microsoft Windows phones, Nokia, Symbian, and BlackBerry OS. And the second one, there are over 3 billion active Android devices in the world. Okay, so the first one, many new devices and applications released. Besides smartphone, Android is used in smartwatches, tablets, and smart TV. What about Google? For Google, firstly, the graph shows you about Google revenue, and you can look at this in the slide. And Google revenue has enormously a growth trend, and before acquiring Android in 2004, Google revenue was so low. It was $3.2 billion. After 1 year of the acquisition, Google revenues is $10.6 billion. But in the most recently reported fiscal year, Google revenue amounted to $181.69 billion US. Secondly, thanks to Android, Google can earn about $19 billion a year in 3 main ways: Play Store, Search, and Maps. And so the next, I would like to move on to the problem that Google has to face after the acquisition process. Google is announced to impose its law on Android smartphones manufacturer. Android is open source, but Google Play Service and other Google apps are not. So to use them, the manufacturer gets a Google license without paying anything, but they need to comply with many of Google conditions. Therefore, in 2018, the European Union accused Google of abusing the market's dominance of its Android operating system to extend the reach of Google search engine. So how the problem was solved? And to solve the problem, the European Union files of the the European Union files 4.3 billion euro, and Google go first to change the old way it operates. Google introduced a new option for Android manufacturer that allow them to license Google Play and other apps without Chrome and Google Search. However, if they choose this option, they have to pay a license fee to Google. To conclude, after the acquisition, Android is the most popular mobile OS in the world, and Google has become one of the biggest and most influential companies in the world. And I and Ching have just represented the case of Google and Android. And the next, we will talk about the part 2, an outstanding M&A deal in Vietnam.
Yes, thank you, Lynn. Next is part 2, an outstanding M&A deal in Vietnam. Here is some overview about M&A deal in Vietnam. Due to the country's deeper integration into the global economy in recent years, Vietnam M&A activity had grown strongly in the number and size of the deals. According to the report by Europe Monitor International, Vietnam is one of the most dynamic and potential M&A market and ranked second in the world behind only the US. As you can see on the slide, we're so proud that Vietnam is on top too. And one of the outstanding M&A cases in Vietnam that surprised the market is the acquisition of Masan, Vincommerce, and VinEco from Vingroup. Shall we begin? First is introduction. Founded in 1996, Masan Consumer is one of the Vietnam's largest local diversified food and beverage companies. They manufacture and distribute a range of food and beverage company products such as Jinsu, Nam Ngư, Omachi, Vinac Cafe, Wake and so on. Vincommerce is a member of company of Vingroup, which is the largest conglomerate of Vietnam. They are retail foundation and own a system of Vinmart supermarkets, Vinmart Plus, convenience store, and so on. VinEco is an agriculture company owned by Vingroup. VinEco has 14 high-tech agriculture farms across the country. Each month, VinEco supplies to the market thousands of tons of clean agriculture products such as vegetables, spice, and fruit. Second is the acquisition process. In December 2019, Masan Group and Vingroup agreed to merge Vincommerce, VinEco, and Masan Consumer Holding to create the retail and consumer good leader in Vietnam and protect the domestic consumer good market. Masan used up to 25.2 trillion Vietnam dong of undistributed net profit to pay for the Vincommerce merger, acquire 83.74% of share at Vincommerce, and Vingroup will be the shareholder. So what are the reasons make these companies form alliance? Here is the reason. For Vingroup, the retail segment has not yet brought the expected profit, and they focus on developing other areas such as car manufacturing and technology. Therefore, Vingroup decided to withdraw with the retail segment. And on Masan's side, the Vinmart Plus supermarket system and VinEco will be the complete piece of the farm-to-table strategy. Feed farm food that help Masan strengthen its competitive advantage, increase profit margin, because it does not have to depend on other distributors. After taking over, Masan also confirmed that Masan will maintain the current management system of Vincommerce, as well as the policy for suppliers. All customers and employees will continue to inherit the benefit available from Vingroup and enjoy additional benefit from Masan. Next is operation process. After the acquisition, I will lead for Hoa. Hoa, please.
Okay, so now I'd like to turn to the operation process after the acquisition. So after the deal, Masan made a strong investment to restructure Vincommerce. Masan closed 434 inefficient selling points. As you can see, the number of the store have decreased. Masan also put into operation a new look and layout of Vinmart and Vinmart Plus, and gave a priority to fresh goods. And in addition, the company also reduced operating costs, optimized product portfolios, renegotiate with suppliers, and introduces new pricing policies. Yeah, and you can see in the slide. Thanks to the Vincommerce Retail Foundation, the unit members of Masan have a noticeable increase. After the first 9 months, the revenue of Masan Consumer Holding reached 16,359 billion Vietnam dong, up to 30% over the same period last year. Masan midlife revenue was also up to 11,412 billion Vietnam dong. And the Masan high-tech material also grew up to 5,073 billion Vietnam dong. And especially in commerce, they achieved a revenue of 22,678 billion Vietnam dong, which accounts for 5%, 42.5% of Masan total revenue. And you know, despite facing the adverse impact of COVID-19, Vincommerce achieved huge revenue. Also, the scale of the system has shrunk a lot compared when it belonged to Vingroup. And this begins to bring Vincommerce to the break-even point. So to sum up, after taking over Vinmart and Vinmart Plus, Masan has gradually changed this retail chain and aim to become a leading company in Vietnamese market and toward the foreign market. So that's all I have to say about M&A case of Masan, Vincommerce, and Vinico. So let's move to part 3.
Okay, so now I will follow to the part 3, the key factors necessary for a successful M&A. From 2 acquisition deals of Google and Masan, we have concluded 3 key factors for businessmen when they conduct M&A transactions. The first one is that they have to choose the right partner. They should be in the same line of business or have the same goals when forming alliances. We can see that Google and Android are all in the information industry, so they use the horizontal integration strategy. At first, Android wanted this alliance because they needed the cars who acquired Android because they wanted to develop software for their own. By the way, both companies want to expand their market share and create greater competitiveness. In the case of Masan, these 3 companies use vertical integration strategy because they have different core competence. However, they have the same goals and is to create the retail and consumer goods leader in Vietnam and protect the domestic customer good market. And the second factor is the cultural difference. We know that cultural difference always exists when companies take part in the M&A activities. Therefore, to successfully integrate 2 companies, manager has to find ways to communicate effectively between teams of all involved entities. In our presentation, Pai has pointed that Masan maintains their current management system of Vincommerce as well as policy for suppliers. The Vingroup employees will continue to inherit the benefits available from Vingroup and enjoy additional benefits from Masan. So last but not least, a necessary step in the M&A process is a comprehensive plan. Plan makers have to be sure what they are going to do with the business they acquire. As Nguyen presented, after the acquisition, Google used the skill of new Android team members to develop an operating system for mobile device in the next 3 years. This helped them accept new portfolios successfully. Besides, He has shown that Masan has completed a farm-to-table feed farm food that helps them strengthen its competitiveness advantages and increase profit margin thanks to the acquisition. So to conclude, companies should give a thought to these factors when they decide to participate in M&A activity. Okay, so
now let me summarize what we have said. First, the case of Google and Android has been one of the most successful M&A deals in the world, and it shows the vision of Google CEOs. It becomes a lesson for many companies when venturing into an alliance. Next, Vietnam has been recognized as one of the most M&A destinations in Southeast Asia. the Vietnamese M&A market has grown at an impressive rate in terms of both the transaction and the deal value. The case of Masan and Vingroup has created the leading group of retail and consumer goods in Vietnam, and it is considered as a successful deal in Vietnam in 2020. Last, mergers and acquisition can be one of the most challenging strategies that an organization would be undertake. But if you so a company should consider 3 key factors and follow a long-term plan, perform it carefully to avoid failure and achieve their goals. And it brings us to the end of our presentation. Many thanks for your attention. Now we will try to answer any question that you may have. If you have any question, please raise your voice.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes, please.
Okay. First, I want to congratulate you because your preparation is very good.
Thank you.
And second, I want to ask Jing one question.
Jing, please.
Can you repeat for me why did Google and Android make an acquisitions? Because I found that this slide showing that reason little information, and maybe I found that your speaking voice is so fast, so I didn't follow what you say. Can you repeat for me?
Okay, so now, okay, I will give you 2 parts. Part 1 is that the reason why Android joined up with Google. The reason why Android want to work with Google is that because the purpose of Android is that they want to develop an advanced operating system for disaster cameras, and they turn into open sources. But at that time, they lack money, and they want to first, before working with Google, Android like negotiate deals with Samsung and HTC that failed, and at that time, and Google has ability to invest money to Android, and yeah, is it the first reason? It is part 2. I will move to part 2 is that the reason why Google want to acquire Android. Google want to acquire Android because Google see a huge potential of the idea of like producing smartphone and wanted to make one of their own. And as you can see that nowadays, Android like launch a lot of software for free. For example, and I mentioned about that, Android have launched a software for free, like you can use it to avoid advertising. Yeah, this is my answer.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Have anyone any questions for us? Also, if there no question, if you don't ask us anything, our presentation is stopped here. Thank you for your attention.
It seems that the presenter has made a clear, easy to follow presentation. So there's no more questions from the audience. Okay, congratulations, you did a good job. In general, I am happy with the presentation, and I see that this group have been very hardworking. You just consulted me a lot of time, and whenever you need help, you just contact me, okay? And that is a good thing, and I see that you have good performance today. Okay, I want to give the comment on individual performance. The first one is Thùy Linh. You are the group leader. You made the introduction, but I'm not sure whether I missed it or you forgot to introduce the group member. Did you do that?
I forgot.
Introduce different. Yeah, okay, you forgot. Actually, that is it is the minors, because it is very important to introduce group members. Okay, before you introduce the structure of the presentation, you must let the audience know who will be the speaker. Okay, so that's why I give you 4. Maybe it must be 4.5 or more than that. Ching, how I can say, I see a significant improvement in your speaking since I got to know you from the first year. Okay, you made improvement, and I'm very satisfied with the way you speak today. You demonstrated a good spoken language, and the way you speak in front of the others is very natural. You have lively gesture with very I think the appropriate gesture, the way you move the body, the face, okay? I mean, the body language is very good. And the pronunciation is very good, very clear, easy to follow. And it's nice to hear you. You use quite, I mean, the speed and the volume is moderate. Okay, I give you 5. Yeah, the maximum mark for individual performance. Congratulations. The third one is the Luyến. I see that you try to maintain good fluency. What you have to do is to focus more on the pronunciation. Try to have clear, comprehensible, more comprehensible pronunciation, and you try to fix the problem of some similar sound like L and N. Okay, you have some problem with L and N, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can have try to have more practice with some exercises that help you to differentiate to sound, and you practice more. Okay, I give you 4. The fourth one is Thùy. Thùy, you give me the impression that you are the TV presenter, just like you are the news presenter, news reader. What do I mean? Sometimes I feel like you are reading some notes, but actually you are very comfortable with that. The eyes does not change the destination. You just look at one place. It sounds like you are looking at the audience, but actually maybe you are reading something on the screen, and you just speak it out. So I want you to act. If you really read the notes, I want you to be more independent. Because you have good pronunciation, good spoken language, but you speak like the news reader, just like a machine, a little bit like that. So if you can speak in a more natural way, I give you 4. 3, where are you? Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Vậy cô có nói sai không nhỉ? Cô cảm giác là em có đọc một số cái notes đúng không?
Vâng, thực ra nhiều em cũng contact với các bạn nhưng mà kiểu giọng điệu của em nó bị thế rồi ạ.
Không, cái vấn đề không phải giọng điệu, không liên quan đến giọng điệu, bởi vì cô đã nói rồi, cái pronunciation của em rất tốt, giống như là người ta phát bản tin trên TV ấy, đọc tin tức ấy, rất là luột, đều, khuôn hình giữ nguyên và mặt cũng không đảo, mắt cũng không đảo nhiều, mặc dù em rất là tươi tắn, nhưng mà cô có cảm giác là em đang đọc giống như kiểu là phát thanh viên người ta cũng có những cái notes ở phía trước ấy để người ta đọc á.
Vâng ạ.
Trong khi đó thì ví dụ bạn Trinh, bạn ấy ngồi xa này, bạn Luyến, bạn cũng ngồi xa hình và các bạn ấy chuyển động rất là tự nhiên và là nói với mọi người và có những cái facial expression rất là rõ ràng. Còn em thì nó tươi tắn nhưng nó cứ đều kiểu, tại vì em đang đọc mà, thế là cái cảm giác nó không được tự nhiên lắm, vì cô trừ một chút cái chỗ đó.
Vâng, lần sau em sẽ rút kinh nghiệm ạ.
Rồi, chuẩn bị tốt, chuẩn bị kỹ là điều tốt. Thế nhưng mà bây giờ chúng ta đang là nói trước đám đông và cô khen nhóm này là ở chỗ các bạn, hầu hết các bạn điều chỉnh cái hình rất là đẹp ở chỗ là có cái sự tương phản, contrast rõ ràng giữa speaker với cả cái background. Background các bạn để màu trắng, không bị làm cho khán giả bị phân tâm bởi những thứ khác. Mặt được phản chiếu rất là rõ ràng, ánh sáng chiếu đầy đủ và cô nhìn các bạn rất là dễ dàng. Ví dụ như bạn Luyến này, bạn Trinh này, kể cả bạn Thùy Linh, cô thấy là cái hình rất là đẹp. Đó, Thùy thì đấy là cảm nhận của cô và cô nhận xét như vậy, thì 4 điểm thì tôi nghĩ cũng tương đối là cao, điểm nhóm rồi. Bạn cuối cùng là Hòa. Hòa, actually I was impressed with the figures and statistics you show in this part, and you are quite comfortable with describing the charts, the statistic. It's good, good spoken language, and you did a very good conclusion, summarizing the main point, and just make the last impression. A good one. I give you 4.5.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the group work, you get 4.5. Congratulations. This is the highest mark so far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can see hard work pay off. Right. Congratulations to 2 group of presenters, and I hope that the next group will do better. How to do better? It is the question, right? You have to work very hard. Okay, and actually we don't have much time left, so I will not spend time on the lecturing. And I want to introduce you to the second unit, project management. Okay, I will give you the guidelines for on how to prepare for the next lesson. Yeah, project management. Do you have any experience with working on a project? Who can share with us your experience? What project have you participated in, and what was the role? Is this a successful or unsuccessful project? Can you share? No? Okay, so let me show you two examples of projects. Do you remember the lesson that you learned in the first year about location somewhere in Dubai? Do you still remember? Have you ever heard of Palm Island, Palm Jumeirah? Or you forget everything you learned in the first year? Do you remember the lesson about Dubai is a good location? Dubai turned itself into a good location to attract tourists and investors.
I just remember a little bit.
Oh, a little bit. Okay, that's good. Just a little bit is better than nothing. I just want to say that this is the picture show you an artificial island of Dubai. And I want to tell you that this is one of the most successful projects in the world. You can learn more about this project by just typing the keywords Jumeirah Island in Dubai. Now, another project. Have you ever heard of this project? About Kathleen Rapid Transit Railway Line, the Skyline Road in Hanoi.
Yes.
Hanoi. Yeah, okay. What do you think about this project? A lot of articles have been written about this project, right? Yeah, and this is one of the most unsuccessful projects that I have ever known. Do you know why? The project was scheduled in 2011, long time ago, and it was scheduled to be completed after 3 years in 2013. But now you see, we are in 2021, and the completion has been delayed several times. And now we don't know when the project is finished, is completed, and when the railway is ready for use, right? We don't know, and we don't know who have to take the responsibility, right? So this project is behind schedule, and it exceeds the budget schedule for it, right? And now we can't find the person or people or organization to be responsible for it. So I can say this is unsuccessful project. So why I give you two example of construction project? Because this unit you will learn about project management, not the project in education, in tourism, or in service, but in construction. And for most of the girls, construction is something maybe of their interest, right? Right? You're not interested in construction. Yeah. So if you don't prepare well the topic and the ideas, the focus of the unit will be difficult to understand. So I want you to have careful preparation. So I want you to look at the first picture. The first picture of the unit, you can see it is a construction site. And this is the construction site of an airport. Have you ever been to an airport? Yes, at least in Vietnam, Nội Bài International Airport or Tân Sơn Nhất Airport, right? In the world, Do you have an experience? If you have ever been to an international airport in other country, you can see they are huge, very large, complex, right? And you can search more to read about maybe 10 biggest airport in the world, so that you can have an idea how an airport look like. And now think of the construction of the airport. Building an airport is different from building a house or building a bridge, right? It must be much more complex. But you are going to read about how to manage such a project. So I want you to learn more. And you can see in the picture I show you, this is the picture of an airport, the airport that you are going to read about. How the project manager completes the task. That is Heathrow Airport. So do some research before the next lesson. Now, here are the list of the questions that you have to answer. Find out a definition for a project. You may come up with different definition. So try to be confident with a very basic, simple one. What project is? Then try to answer the second question. What makes a successful project? Just compare now. Just look at Cát-Linh, Hà Đông, rapid railway system. You see, it is behind schedule, exceed the budget, right? Think about that factor. If a project fails to meet some condition, it is not successful. Then you look at the project management. Or in other words, what are the tasks of managing a project? What does project management involve? What kind of thing people have to do and they manage a project? What are different qualities of a project manager? You look at the person or people who have to be in charge of a project. What are the qualities? You may think he or she must have good understanding of the field, deep knowledge of the project, things like that. Or some skills like communication, managing people. What do managers have to do to successfully manage a project? So you can see that there are some overlapping among the questions. That's okay, because I just want to look at the issues from different ways. Okay. Give some example of a successful project that you know. Maybe at the moment you can't give an example, but just with some click, you can find out a lot of examples, read more about them, and learn how they are successful. What contributed to the success? Okay, these are the list of the questions that you have to answer. I will next time. And what's more, as usual, you have to understand the keynotes, summarize the keynotes. Then move on. I want you to look at the project life cycle in page 16 to get an idea of what stages a project may go through. Okay. Then I want you to read the article. And as usual, you have to understand the headlines, summarize the headline. This time I will not show you how to do it because I did in first unit, and now I just want to check the result. Then you have to read the article to write down the main points. It is not easy for you to do with this article. The reason I tell you already, it is about construction, and you are not project manager. You don't know what to do, right? And the article show you the way a construction project, how a construction project is managed, and you will learn more about the project manager. And in the article, there are a lot of terms in construction and project management field. That's why you have to do 4 vocabulary tasks, vocabulary exercises that help you to understand the detail of the text. Như cô vừa nói đấy, thì cái bài này nó là về lĩnh vực xây dựng và lại xây dựng sân bay. Mà không phải nói ở góc độ bình thường mà nói ở góc độ là quản lý cái dự án đó. Vậy 3 cái điều đó nó sẽ tạo thành một cái khối lượng kiến thức khá là khó đối với sinh viên, đặc biệt là nữ. Thế cho nên là như cô vừa nói rồi, ngoài những việc thông thường các em phải làm như headlines, main idea, thì các em tập trung làm cho cô 4 cái bài vocabulary 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 bài liền. 4 cái bài này nếu các em làm xong thì các em sẽ thấy cái ngôn ngữ trong bài nó sẽ đơn giản hơn rất là nhiều. Vì có những cái terms mà bây giờ chúng ta sẽ chuyển sang cái general language. Và các em sẽ làm cái bài reading task 1, 2, trả lời các câu hỏi đó. Buổi các em điểm này, rồi là chữa cho các em. Một là các cái câu hỏi đó thì cô lại không tập trung vào vì cô muốn hướng dẫn các em sẽ đi vào detail. Và ngoài cái bài đọc này ra thì sau này các em sẽ còn phải đọc. Buổi nữa thì cô sẽ check cái phần cái hiểu biết của các em về bài trang 19 là một bài đọc khác. Bài trang 20, 19 và trang 20 có 2 bài đọc. 2 bài đọc này cùng với bài đọc chính sẽ cho các em cái hiểu biết tổng thể về việc là một dự án được quản lý như thế nào, có những vấn đề gì liên quan. Ví dụ bài trang 19 sẽ đưa cho chúng ta thấy một cái potential problems mà nó có thể arise with the construction project. Rồi bài trang 20 sẽ cho chúng ta thấy được cái gọi là project overview. Trước khi một dự án bắt đầu thì người ta phải có những cái bước mà chúng ta sẽ đọc trong phần preview, và một trong những cái bước đó là phải give the project overview. Thì các em đọc cái bài này các em sẽ biết được project overview là làm cái gì. Tóm lại là đọc xong cái bài này các em có thể tự tin hiểu biết với cái hiểu biết của mình về việc là quản lý dự án. You will be equipped with basic knowledge about project management. After the unit, you can tell whether a project is successful or not easily. When you look at a project, you will know it is a successful or unsuccessful. You can give the own judgment. If you prepare well, and if my lecture is conducted successfully with the preparation, I will help you with the most difficult part. And in the future, who knows? You can become a project manager. And the knowledge in this unit just prepare you for that future. I hope so. So you have a lot of things to do before the next meeting. Now we have to spend some time to choose the next group of presenter. Okay? Yes. Chúng ta sẽ chọn nhóm thuyết trình tiếp theo nào để cô. Chúng ta lớp 01 là đã loại nhóm nào rồi nhỉ?
Nhóm 1 ạ.
Nhóm 1 loại rồi.
Nhóm 1 ạ.
Rồi, thế thì bây giờ chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu từ nhóm tiếp theo là được 6 nhóm này sẽ quay. Chúng ta chúc mừng nhóm 6 nhé. Trưởng nhóm 6 là bạn nào đấy?
Là em ạ.
Huyền, ok. Tiếp tục nhóm 02, lớp 02. Loại nhóm nào nhỉ?
Cũng nhóm 1 ạ.
Cũng nhóm 1 luôn à? Hai lớp đều là nhóm 1 hết à?
Vâng ạ.
Ồ, rồi. Rồi, chúc mừng nhóm 5. Trưởng nhóm 5 đâu?
Em đây ạ.
Phương, ok.
Dạ vâng.
Hai nhóm sẽ bắt đầu từ bây giờ chuẩn bị cho bài thuyết trình tiếp theo. Chúng ta sẽ phải nỗ lực hơn các thành viên khác trong lớp với cái chủ đề tới này. Và nếu như bạn nào cảm thấy chưa tự tin về chủ đề Project Management, quản lý một dự án như thế nào, thì bây giờ chúng ta sẽ phải tìm hiểu và chúng ta sẽ cảm giác như các em sẽ đóng vai là các Project Manager. Và chúng ta sẽ nghĩ về các cái dự án, phải tìm hiểu dần rồi. Và sau khi mà chúng ta đọc nhiều đủ để chúng ta có thể hình thành nên cái câu hỏi, nghiên cứu cái topic ấy, thì các em sẽ nói chuyện với cô xem là các em sẽ khai thác ở khía cạnh nào nhé. Và các em có thể quyết định sau cái buổi học tới. Và các em thấy là bài 1 thì cô đi rất là kỹ cho các em, thì sẽ có những bài cô sẽ đi nhanh, có những bài cô yêu cầu giống như kiểu cô đã hướng dẫn các em làm rồi, thì bây giờ cô để cho các em tự làm và cô chỉ kiểm tra thôi. Thì bài này sẽ là bài mà cái phần đọc ấy, gần như bây giờ cô hướng dẫn hết rồi, cô yêu cầu chúng ta phải làm hết, buổi sau cô chỉ check thôi. Đó, các em sẽ phải làm việc độc lập chứ không phải là chờ cô sẽ hướng dẫn từng tí một nữa. Các em nên thành lập một cái nhóm với nhau và các em bắt đầu tìm hiểu thông tin ngay từ bây giờ. Ok, được rồi.
Vâng ạ.
Buổi hôm nay là cô kết thúc ở đây. Cô hy vọng là chúng ta đã học hỏi được những điều bổ ích từ các bài thuyết trình. Cô chào cả lớp.
Chào cô ạ.